Hello, everyone, and welcome to AWS's online public sector session. My name is Andrew Nielsen. I'm the Senior Director for Cloud Migration and Technical Enablement at VMware. And today I'm going to be walking through how to accelerate your cloud migration journey with VMware Cloud on AWS. So let's get right into it. Public sector organizations are now focusing on IT modernization. Why is this? They are being driven by digital-first initiatives. They also are looking for better quality and efficiency of services to citizens, and they are trying to have agility and acceleration as they innovate to deal with next-gen governance. And also, they are looking at a change in a reduction from capital and operating costs, but they are also looking for new and unique service delivery models. But what are the core challenges that the public sector IT is facing? There is a perceived lag when it comes to public sector IT that they are behind the private sector. They've got legacy systems. They are also having very traditional infrastructure in that process. Lots of servers, networking and storage on-prem in data centers that has not necessarily modernized itself. There's also a lot of siloed IT systems. So that is lots of applications that don't necessarily talk to each other. Maybe they're not taking advantage of new and modern services or modern application architectures. And they've also got very rigid investment structures. A lot of them are still on CapEx. They are doing depreciation cycles. But most importantly, they have to answer the mail when it comes to security and compliance. And even whether you're at a federal level, you're at a state level, you're at a local level, all of the data that they store is critical and has to be secured to the highest standards. Now, the big option that people are doing in the public sector now is moving to hybrid cloud. That is the preference in order to alleviate these challenges. And as part of that, there is an application transformation underway. But when public sector agencies are looking to move to the public cloud, they're dealing with existing applications that they would either have to replatform, rebuild, rehost, retain, or retire in order to get to SaaS. And these are also a number of infrastructure choices that are in play as well. There's options for local cloud, public cloud, private cloud, and even an edge cloud. So depending on whether you want to go from provider managed to customer managed, all of those options are on the table when you're dealing with VMware Cloud on AWS. Now, the challenges of implementing a hybrid cloud strategy are fivefold. Number one, moving from that on-prem infrastructure into the cloud deals with inconsistencies. You're dealing with new machine images, you're dealing with different infrastructure, you're dealing with different management models, maybe different API skill sets. Also, different tools, different skill sets. The skill sets that on-premise public sector IT has today doesn't necessarily immediately transfer to cloud without reskilling and retraining. Also, much different management models, much different security posture. And then also dealing with security and compliance certifications, depending on what cloud you want to move to and how you want to get there, but also the inability to move workloads bidirectionally. So let's say you wanted to have a workload in the cloud, bring it back to your data center, or maybe move it to a different data center or to even a different cloud. That is wrought with challenges as well. One of the things that we see out of that is decreased agility. I mean, the number of years that it takes to refactor 100 applications moving into cloud is about 7.4 years. There's also higher risks. There's a 90% reported skills shortage in cloud-related disciplines. Or to put it in more simple terms, if you go out and you look at any of the big cloud providers, there are thousands and thousands of positions open for cloud skills that they cannot fill. Moving that into private and even to public sector, they are also competing in that same talent pool. And there's also dealing with higher costs. When it comes to refactoring and reskilling and revalidating all that, moving into that hybrid cloud strategy can have a problem with that. But a hybrid cloud with consistent infrastructure and operations can help overcome these challenges. And this is where VMware Cloud on AWS comes in. And VMware and AWS have delivered the modern hybrid cloud. Starting off in October of 2016, VMware announced a partnership with AWS, taking the number one on-premise on-premise private cloud provider with the number one public cloud provider. VMware brings to the table leading compute, storage, and network technologies. We support a broad range of mission-critical workloads, especially in the public sector space, and we are the de facto standard when it comes to the enterprise data center. AWS brings all the goodness of the cloud with it, like flexible cloud consumption, a broad set of, I believe, over now 180 plus services, and a global and scale reach that is second to none. And in the past 4 years, our partnership with AWS has only grown to the point now that we are sitting in 17 of 22 of AWS's global regions. Now, delivering these enterprise-proven capabilities for government, we offer a number of things. One is seamless integration. It is essentially an easy button or a one-touch, fast, cost-effective migration to move those workloads from your data center that are already running on VMware into the public cloud on VMware Cloud on AWS. We offer as a service, which is a rich set of SDDC services delivered on AWS's metal. We also offer the consistency and familiarity of VMware technologies. So all of the processes and procedures that you've built around VMware, when it comes to operations, when it comes to security, what you are doing in your data center today, that moves to the cloud as well. Also, application and workload portability. Since VMC on AWS runs on our compute network and storage stack, all of that portability just expands right into AWS so that you can migrate and modernize those applications. Also, modern apps. As we announced last year, we have native support for Kubernetes in the hypervisor, which is available in VMC on AWS and allows customers to have containers and VMs running side by side as first-class citizens. And moving into AWS, you have even access to more services to modernize those applications on a time schedule that doesn't require you to refactor, replace, or do anything crazy with your applications. Now, VMware Cloud on AWS is a jointly engineered service between our two companies. This is a VMware SDDC running on AWS bare metal, managed by vCenter across all those environments. It is delivered, operated, and supported by VMware. We take first call, and it gives you on-demand capacity and flexible consumption with full operational consistency across your IT estate, and seamlessly allows you to move large-scale workloads and hybrid operations anywhere within the VMware Cloud on AWS environment, leveraging AWS's global footprint. But more importantly, as you look at the right-hand side of this graphic, you have direct access to over 180 AWS services to modernize those applications. So regional availability, I know I've hit this point a few times, 17 of 22, obviously, but more importantly for our public sector customers, this is a certified offering. Whether you're looking for something more international in the case of ISO 27001 for ISMS or 27017, or if you're in the UK with GCloud, we're also GDPR compliant, SOC 2 Type 2, HIPAA. We also align to the CSA controls. And from a FedRAMP perspective, we are currently rated at FedRAMP High, ready, going through the JAB process. We'll also have more planned regions that you see in the lower left-hand portion of the slide there. But wherever your mission requires you to be, VMware Cloud on AWS can support you. So VMware Cloud on AWS and GovCloud, US for the public sector, this is designed to meet, the high sensitivity requirements for those sensitive workloads. And this jointly engineered secure service is going to be in AWS GovCloud in the US West region. As I stated before, we are already FedRAMP ready high status, and we are also in the process of achieving the Impact ATO and a DoD IL5 or Impact Level 5. And that we'll have more details on when those certifications are going to be available later. All of the operations for VMware Cloud on AWS that operate in GovCloud are operated by VMware employees who are US citizens and who are on US soil. You can also keep up with the status of this at the FedRAMP Marketplace, which is up to date as well. So what makes VMware Cloud on AWS so compelling? Economics and speed. One of the things, as far as TCO is concerned, We're looking at one report that we commissioned from Forrester, and over a period of time, there was a 59% recurring savings in infrastructure and operations across 3 years with 3,000 VMs. But more importantly, it is also faster and lower cost to migrate versus native cloud. So you can save 57% as far as by eliminating costly rework and refactoring and reducing migration times from years to months. I can also cite numerous customers that I've talked to who have moved 300, 500 workloads over a weekend using HCX or vMotion. And it is really as simple as moving across that infrastructure and going from your on-premise data center into VMware Cloud on AWS. So when it comes to VMware Cloud on AWS advantages, public sector customers are getting access to the best of both worlds. You're getting VMware's enterprise software combined with the flexibility, speed, and agility of the number one public cloud service provider, Amazon Web Services. You're having zero refactoring of applications and workloads, which ultimately leads to a 69% lower migration cost and time reduced from years to months when it comes to migrating applications, workloads, and even data centers. But more importantly, you can leverage your existing in-house skills today to drive your hybrid cloud migration and save up to 71% in operations and training by leveraging that expertise that's already in place and being able to have the operational consistency and security that you're already enjoying in your data center today. And from a cloud economics perspective, there's a lower total cost of ownership versus traditional on-premise environments from infrastructure and operation savings. But more importantly, it allows public sector customers to move from CapEx to OpEx and take advantage of a predictable cost model as well. Now, the use cases to address public sector needs, so right out of the gate, data center modernization. This is where customers are going in, looking at their data centers, or getting out of the data center business altogether and either consolidating them or exiting them. But it is also allowing public sector IT infrastructure transformation to move to hybrid cloud in the most seamless, cost-effective, and easiest way possible. And this transformation also, whether it's internal to your agency or it's outside to the citizenry, it is giving entirely new options to the public sector when it comes to service delivery, speed, and agility of getting modern digital governmental services out to the citizenry and to other agencies, but it also is making DevOps ready for IT for the public sector right out of the gate, with access to all of AWS's native services, as well as an API service, whether you're running Kubernetes or Terraform or anything along that. We have a digital foundation for modern cloud architected applications. Now, the second use case is data center extension or even just full cloud migration. And you can simplify it down to just application-specific migrations, where maybe you're moving a small set of workloads or a certain set of mission-critical workloads. But let's say you need to burst or you have some type of seasonality issue, you can expand your IT footprint elastically. And taking advantage of that predictable cost model that I talked about before, you're going to know exactly what that is going to cost you in order to serve that. Now, one of the things that we talk about quite a bit is business continuity. And in the public sector, as well as the private sector, that has always been a CapEx expense. But with VMware Cloud on AWS, your business continuity, number one, can be OpEx, but more importantly, it can be as easy as spinning it up and at the ready, but you don't have to actually have the physical site and maintain all of that infrastructure and that equipment. It is just there and you burst into it as you need to. Now, when it comes to rapidly developing and delivering services, VMware Cloud on AWS is an excellent environment for test dev scenarios where maybe you want to do quick projects or spike something out, or you just would rather take that test dev infrastructure that you're using for IT or application development and roll that into cloud and take advantage of a modern infrastructure, but more importantly, having that ability to get it to an OpEx cost model. When it comes to next generation apps development and delivery, VMware Cloud on AWS offers application modernization and next generation application build out. So as you migrate your applications into VMware Cloud on AWS, you take advantage of all the 180 plus services, but it also allows for hybrid applications. So that will give the public sector the ability to modernize those apps, even not only after they've moved, but still maintain that hybridity between their traditional on-premise infrastructure and what they're doing in the cloud. So let's take an example of a public sector customer that saw a ton of benefit from VMware Cloud on AWS. This is the West Windsor Plainsboro Regional School District, and they were trying to deal with improved resiliency, have infrastructure flexibility, but more importantly, reduce IT operating costs. They didn't want to refactor their workloads after migrating to the cloud, but they needed the flexibility to bring workloads back to the on-premises whenever they required it. So what they saw was up to a 75% reduction in hardware replacement costs after they moved to VMware Cloud on AWS. It also allowed them to scale instantly to support 10,000 people working remotely during the pandemic in order to support virtual classrooms. And it improved the organization's resiliency with VMware Site Recovery, with data replicated within a 5-minute RPO in the case of a disaster event. If you want to read more about this customer success story, there's a link on the slide in the lower left-hand corner. Now, another government organization in EMEA, again, they were looking to close their existing DR facility, but they required high availability and application downtime for them was simply not an option, but they also wanted to keep their existing tools and skill sets in-house. So in just 3 weeks, they were able to migrate their complete disaster recovery solution from their on-prem to VMware Cloud on AWS. They optimized their DR costs by deploying disaster recovery as a service solution in the cloud, zero downtime during that migration process, and they realized the flexible, sustainable, and more importantly, cost-effective infrastructure by moving into that OpEx model for their disaster recovery. So as far as the VMware Cloud on AWS partner ecosystem, it is growing. There are over 600 VMware Cloud on AWS solution competent partners. There's also 40 plus VMC on AWS master services competent partners. There's over 100 ISV ecosystem partners and over 300 plus partner ready solutions. So no matter what your use case, VMware Cloud on AWS's partner ecosystem can help you meet that mission, whatever it is. And I advise you to visit the VMware Marketplace for more information on this. And also check out our our partner success stories at the links provided on the slide. Now, one of the things that we've just recently announced is VMware Cloud Universal. And this allows customers to essentially have a subscription to VMware Cloud products. And it gives you a rich set of enterprise class VMware compute, storage, and networking management capabilities under a flexible subscription for deployment, whether it's the private, edge, or public cloud. But it gives customers optionality to leverage VMware managed local cloud, customer managed private cloud, and VMware managed public cloud, like VMware Cloud on AWS. And it's integrated with our customer success program called Success 360, which will get your projects up, off the ground, running, and successful. Now, how does this work? You think of it just like you would a Metro card or maybe an Oyster card in London. You pay ahead, you use it at will, you go anywhere, and you top up at any time. So it's really a completely flexible subscription, and you use those credits or that money on whatever VMware service you would like to use it on. Now, the business outcomes around what hybrid cloud is looking for and how IT's and organization mission imperatives are being addressed. VMware Cloud on AWS is accelerating innovation with access to the latest technologies and cloud services. In AWS, I stated before, over 180 plus services, but it increases developer velocity and flexibility as you move to the hybrid cloud and migrate and modernize those workloads, and you can reinvest that migration savings into application modernization. It uplifts your operations, giving public sector IT organizations the ability to respond faster to business requirements, and also improve infrastructure, security, reliability, and scale, and refocus efforts on more strategic priorities because you're not worried about managing the infrastructure overall. And more importantly, it allows you to reduce costs. And by taking advantage of VMware Cloud on AWS as a SaaS offering, this moves you to a predictable OpEx model and switches that financing into OpEx, but more importantly, that zero rework and migration cost will save you money on your journey to the cloud. So how can you get ready for the modern hybrid cloud? One, when you look at VMware Cloud on AWS, one, understand how VMware Cloud on AWS is going to fit into your strategy. And this is understanding your journey to the hybrid cloud, what you want to accomplish there. More importantly, analyze and go take a look at the cloud economics around VMC on AWS. You can request a TCO analysis from VMware on the URL below there on bullet 2, and also have some hands-on experience with it. Try a hands-on lab or request a pilot or a POC. So getting started with VMware Cloud on AWS starts now. It is as simple as going to the website, popping in a credit card, and going on your journey. Or feel free to scan the link there, and that will take you the QR code there, and go directly to the website, and you can get started on VMC on AWS. So there's a ton of technical resources available. Also, we have a number of hands-on labs for VMware Cloud on AWS. We also have our Quick Start series if you want to get up to speed quickly and just see a variety of demonstrations. And also, please engage with us on social media. Our Twitter handles there and our hashtags, free to give us a shout out as well. So with that, please help us support 3M Kids. This is to help kids grow their emotional intelligence in over 200 countries, and this is a pop-up festival worldwide that teaches emotional intelligence and reduces mental health issues in today's youth. And for every attendee who visits the VMware sponsorship page and engages with 2 assets, VMware will donate $10 per visit to the pop-up. And today we can help celebrate World Children's Day in partnership with UNICEF. Thank you for your time today. I hope you enjoyed listening to this presentation. My name is Andrew Nielsen, and please complete the session survey and enjoy the rest of this AWS conference. Thank you so much.